did this morning is I decided to make it a little challenging, so this is a totally unscripted TED Talk. So I talked about narratives this morning. Does people remember me talking about narratives? Well, the one thing that he gave me in 5 minutes to talk about was the fact that when you start a narrative, so the 6-page document that has to be like a resume, it has to be so perfect in order for someone to read it. And actually, the other interesting thing about narratives that I should tell you is that you don't pass it out to anyone before you actually read the narrative. You come into a meeting, you give people the narrative, and they sit down and they read it. So everyone is about 30 minutes in the meeting just sitting there reading. It's pretty spooky when you first do it. But one thing about narratives is that you have tenets. So has anyone heard of a tenet? A tenet is like something that you hold to be self-evident. Like customers will always want lower costs, right? That's a tenet. So I'm going to give you Tom Leszewski. I don't know if this represents AWS. I'm not even sure if this applies to technology. But I'm going to give you 3 tenets that I think is happening. And I actually got these out of a book called The Startup of You. It's by the founder of LinkedIn. The first one is globalization. So globalization is here to stay. And a lot of people believe that globalization is happening because of all this fiber that's laid down across the globe. But globalization means that something like Mechanical Turk. Have people heard of Mechanical Turk? They have. So you can go out there, and if you want something done, it could just be a mechanical, it could be just a manual process. Like if you want someone to just look at a bunch of photos and tell you the similarities with this photo, you can put this up on a service from AWS called Mechanical Turk. And has someone around the globe, someone in Romania, China, Thailand, can go out there and service your request. So globalization is here to stay. The other thing is technology disruption is happening. We all use things like Netflix, WhatsApp, self-driving cars. Well, if you can afford one. I can't afford a self-driving car. I still have an old Subaru. But you can use these new technologies. We use them in the house every day with Amazon Echo. If you have an Amazon Echo, you're using chatbots, right? This morning I talked about Airbnb disrupting the hotel and hospitality industry. Robinhood is disrupting the trading industry. Charles Schwab is getting competition from them. Oscar is disrupting the healthcare industry. So we have all these companies disrupting. So technology is disrupting. And the third thing that's happening is technology change is accelerating. All right? So I started off as a mainframe programmer long ago at EDS of all places. So I'm coming back home here. Thank you. So I have to tell you real quickly, because I only have 2 more minutes left, I actually ended up leaving EDS because I wrote Les Aberthal an email about client-server coming along because they canceled a client-server class, so I joined a company called Sybase, who is no longer a company either. They're part of SAP. But anyway, so technology is changing any faster. I've seen mainframes, client-server, the internet, and cloud computing in my lifetime since working. I think prior to that, we had mainframes for like 35 years, and now in the last 25 years, we've had all these cycles of change. So how does AWS help you in this change? Well, we offer a platform that's very anti-fragile. Has anyone read the book Anti-Fragile? Black Swan? No, they're great books, read them. So they're books about how anti-fragile is about how systems need to be able to adapt and change, and that's what AWS is all about, right? It allows you a platform that you can distribute across the globe, you can throw away your compute, you can add new storage. So there's 2 things about AWS that are actually accelerating disruption of change. One is called disintermediation. And what I mean by that is getting rid of the middleman, right? So a marketing person, which IT people hate this, can take a credit card, go out there and spin up a machine learning platform on their own. They can spin up a big data lake platform on their own, just using a credit card. The other thing is we offer things like ServiceNow, Oracle, Microsoft on something we call our marketplace. So disintermediating the supply chain. VADs and VARs now no longer needed. You can just go out to marketplace and spin up the software that you want. The other thing that's happening is the democratization of IT. And how is AWS democratizing IT? Well, now you can get PCI, FIPS compliance. You can get machine learning, AI, chatbots, Poly, speech to text, all by going online with a credit card, very, very cheap. And I heard someone once describe this as my grandma can go out there and spin up a WordPress application just as easily as someone at EDS, HP, DXC, can spin it up. So we're democratizing IT by putting security and compliance, as well as machine learning, IoT, in the hands of anyone. So thank you for your time.